So duol ra kaayo. In short, now if you drive from Mandani Bay to the airport, probably will take you 25-30 minutes, right? But with this, 5 minutes nana ka sa airport. Isn't that nice? So that's why this is another opportunity that investors like you need to keep watch for, because once this project is going to start building, the prices are going to go up. So it's always best that you think about it now while the prices are still good. Magsugod na ginay construct, same as my story with our property, Kalitlag Saka, it's gonna be too late. You know, in real estate, that is very common, no? To a lot of investors, they always say, sayang, I should have bought Cebu Business Park when it was 10,000 per square meter, right, Rose? I'm sure Rose was selling Cebu Business Park before. 10,000 per square meter. Now, how much is that Cebu Business Park? 450,000 per square meter. Okay? So don't be caught too late. All right? So what is this bridge? Again, as I've said, it's a two-pronged project. It's a bridge and a coastal road. The blue one is the coastal road. No? So it's easier to implement because it's going to pass through the water. So not much right of way to buy for the side of the government. And this one right here is the fourth bridge. Again, at the interchange, it will connect to the coastal road. So that's the look of the coastal road. It will go under the first bridge and go over like a roller coaster, no? Over the new bridge, the second bridge rather. And at the interchange near the Kansaga, the foot of the Kansaga bridge, it will connect to the fourth bridge, which will land directly to the airport road. Ing ana kalami. Why? If you take this road right here, you will bypass Mandaue traffic. You will also bypass Lapu-Lapu traffic. That's why I confidently tell you, once this road is here, from Mandani to airport, 5 minutes time, you're there. Okay? So there you go. And what is the status right now? This is a funded project. And the funder for this one is JICA, Japan International Cooperation Association. All right? Naanay funds, no? And the last news, last May, is that they're already doing the soil investigation and the detailed design study. So the technical study is already being done. By next year, mag-start na sila bidding. And I think by 2023, they're going to start constructing. The target for this one, the completion is around 2027. Okay, so that's roughly 6 years from now. Dugay-dugay kay duha manggod. Coastal road and a bridge. Unlike kung bridge lang na 3 to 4 years mahuman, this is a two-project project. Okay? So that's the good news. And in Mandaue City, naasay mga good news, no? In Mandaue City, these are a few good news. Number one, within Mandaue City, there will be modernized jeepney routes. And for you who are property owners of Mandani Bay, those jeepney routes will pass by right outside Mandani Bay. So sayun na lang ang pag-commute going around Mandaue because there is a jeepney stop right outside Mandani Bay. Okay, that's Route 1. This is Route 2, all around Mandani Bay. Project number 2 sa Mandaue, modernized buses. Naasay mga buses which will go around Mandaue, but not only Mandaue. It will go as far as Cebu City, up to Manalili in Cebu. And these will be modern buses. There will also be bus stops outside Mandani Bay. So imagine, karon it's a little bit challenging if you're not driving your car, no, going to Mandani because there are no PUJs. You could come here by taxi, Grab, or private vehicle, but jeepneys, no. But soon there will be modern buses and jeepneys as well. All right? And of course, the Mandaue City is also trying to make it green and sustainable. So nana sila yung mga bike lanes as well. Okay? And there's also a planned flyover at the Owano Avenue. Not the FE's Wilig, okay? Right at the Owano Avenue. That one will ensure na less good ang traffic. All right? And that road will even connect. There's a plan to connect that flyover in Owano Avenue up to UN Avenue. So imagine how many options you will have. You could either take the Fort Bridge, Coastal Road and the Fort Bridge, or this one, go to the second bridge using the flyover. All right? So these are very, very exciting news. That's why I say Mandani Bay is ripe for investment. Not only is it a very good project, but the infrastructure surrounding it really makes it a worthwhile investment to consider. All right? So that's the exciting news about infrastructure. Now, I'm going to answer and detail to you what Professor Soriano has said, that if you want to invest in real estate, what are the things you need to consider? Brand equity and product differentiation. I'm going to show you that what Mandani has. All right? But before I go to that, I'm going to present this to you, not as a Mandani Bay sales head, but as an investor myself. Okay? Because I think you could relate more if I'm going to give this to you or present this to you with an angle of an investor. So as an investor, here is my experience over the past 10 years. I joined real estate in 2012. So it's my 10th year now, no? And to recap my experience, these are the things I invested on. I purchased 3 office spaces, 4 house and lots, 10 vacant lots, and 13 residential condos. Pilay total? How much is the total? 30. Divided by 10, it's an average of 3 properties a year. That is my personal target. I need to buy 3 properties a year, whether to sell it, to rent it out. Okay? I'm going to admit to you, the pandemic happened, I was also in shock because I have properties, no? Especially rental. My problem with the rental is before, of course, a lot of the people who are renting are business executives, expats. When the pandemic happened, they had to move out. So Professor Soriano was very right in saying that stop being depressed, stop being shocked, just do it, move forward. What did I do? For all my rental properties, when the tenants move out, I had to pivot. How did I pivot? Instead of renting it out, I rented to own it. You know rent to own? All of my 3 properties which are being rented out and vacated are now on rent to own. Nga naman, there was that demand for rent to own. People who have money do not want to pay cash because it's uncertain times, right? But they're willing to pay and save on their rents. Instead of paying rents, they're willing to pay and own. So we found that market. All of the properties now are on rent to own. And the good thing about property owners, if you're doing rent to own, kaduha ang igo. You are going to earn twice. Why? The markup that you place on your property. So for example, if I bought it at 4 million and I rented to own it at 5 million, you earn 1 million, right? But if it's rent to own, you could also put in an interest part. Because it's like, for the buyer, it's like loaning from the bank. But instead of loaning from the bank, he loaned from you. It's an in-house financing. So it's 5 million plus interest. I use the bank interest, which is 7-8%. So I earn twice. No? Although I didn't get so much cash right away, like an outright sale, but I earn more. Okay? And the best thing is cash flow was there. So that's also a way to pivot. Especially nowadays wherein rental is a little bit challenging, I suggest you might want to consider rent to own. When the tourists are coming here, then let's go back to rental. Buy more properties for rental. All right? So this is the recap of my story. So I'm going to show you Mandani Bay in my point of view. You know why? Because I also, that 13 residential condominium units there, 3 of that is from Mandani Bay. So I own 3 units. They're building it now. In the next few months, some will be turned over. And one of the office unit there is also an office unit here in Mandani Bay. So why did I buy Mandani Bay? Professor Soriano said brand equity and developer. Let's talk about developer. In all of the 30 properties that I had, whether I sold it, I rented it, the most common thing that I learned, buy from a very reputable developer. Why? Investor man ta. We want to make sure that the value of our investment go up. If the developer is so and so, wail, no? Nobody knows, not very experienced, not that reputable, I'm gonna bet my life the price will not, the value will not appreciate. Okay? So make sure you invest from a reputable, experienced developer because based on track record, no, the values go up. Who are these? The Ayalas, Hong Kong land, no? Hong Kong land. 139 years in the business, the biggest landlord in Hong Kong. And I researched their value appreciation. Properties in Thailand, in Indonesia, in Macau grew by 7 times. Imagine. 7 times from the time they pre-sold to the time it is right now. So I'm going to show you what Hong Kong land is about. Look at this video. James, could you play the video?
Hong Kong Land is one of Asia's leading property investment, management and development groups, with an esteemed reputation for creating premium quality office and retail buildings and upscale properties for residential and hospitality. Its vision centers upon the 4 land concepts of success, prosperity, inspiration and opportunity. The company was incorporated on the 2nd of March 1889. It created Central Hong Kong and is the single largest landlord with 12 interconnected Grade A buildings that span over 450,000 square meters of prime commercial space. A dynamic landscape that has become its land of success. Hong Kong Land's portfolio in Central, one of Asia's leading central business districts, attracts the world's foremost companies and luxury brands. This is epitomized at Landmark, the leader of luxury urban living with a heritage for prestigious shopping, dining, and lifestyle experiences. This success in Hong Kong has spurred the company to expand its footprint in Asia through the land of prosperity. In Singapore, the company has developed premium Grade A commercial and residential spaces at Marina Bay Financial Centre, One Raffles Link, and CityLink Mall, and has built some of the city's luxury residential properties. In Jakarta, the company owns a portfolio of prime offices and upscale residential buildings. In mainland China's key cities like Beijing, Shanghai, Chengdu, and Chongqing, the company is developing high-quality residential properties and is the name behind one of Macau's prestigious developments. The company's land of inspiration is brought to life through sustainability programs. By publicly displaying its valuable art collection, through innovative ideas and improvements, and iconic architectural designs. The land of opportunity is where Hong Kong Land creates value and opportunities for its tenants and buyers through world-class quality management and services. Hong Kong Land is embarking upon the future with upcoming plans that will enhance the region's key central business districts. From its roots in Hong Kong, it owns a growing portfolio across Asia. This innovative vision as a premium quality developer, together with the traditions of partnership, integrity and excellence, will guide Hong Kong Land as it continues developing for tomorrow and beyond.
Okay, so if the Ayala, the Rockwell, the Shangri-La are known to be the most high-end brands here in the Philippines, Hong Kong Land is the one of the most high-end brands in Asia. So it's all over Asia, of course, in Hong Kong, in Singapore. If you've been to Singapore, if you've been to Marina Bay in Singapore, the Marina Bay Financial Center is owned by Hong Kong Land. No, you go to Thailand, you go to Indonesia, Cambodia. So it's all over Asia. So this is what I said. Now, let's look at Mandani Bay. What is really Mandani Bay? It's not a 1-2 tower development. It's a huge development, 20 hectares. So if you've been to the IT park, it's almost as big as the IT park. So imagine that it's like a city within a city, no? But the unique thing about this, okay, diba? Professor Soriano said unique. It has to be unique. It has to be differentiated. This is waterfronting, no? While most of the development in Cebu are inland, this has really nice views of the water. And not only that, Mandani Bay will also activate the water. What does it mean? Soon, you will see a marina there soon. So, wherein the yachts, your speedboats, you could load, unload, and maybe dock them there. All right? So, magamit siya as a mode of transportation. And this is a mixed-use development. So, if any one of you are thinking Mandani Bay is purely condos, you are wrong. There will be offices, there will be condos, there will be a mall, a hotel, a marina, a boardwalk. So you could live, work, and play here. It's like a city within a city. And study shows, now I've attended a seminar with Colliers. They made a survey among property buyers. And one thing stood out. Property buyers now, because of the pandemic, they are looking for properties within a township. Why? Because if you experience the pandemic, if you live in a single building, away from the pharmacy, away from the clinics, from the grocery, it will be very difficult for you, right? Because of mobility issues. That's why the trend now is have a unit in a township. Why? If in case there will be a lockdown, you just go down, buy your groceries at the ground floor, or buy your medication at the pharmacies down there. All right? So this is one of my tips for you. If you're planning on investing a condo, make sure it's within a township like Mandani Bay. Okay? And the vision really here, which really sets this difference, maogid ni, from the other developments in Cebu, is that this will be the leader in developing Cebu into a world-class, that's the key word, world-class lifestyle destination. Okay? So what do we mean by that? If you've been to other countries, Singapore, Hong Kong, Australia, if you've seen nice developments there, this is what you could expect here in Mandani Bay. And to make that really happen, Mandani Bay engaged with world-class consultants, not just local consultants, international consultants, like Parsons Brick and Hawk for the traffic, no? Traffic management, no? And this even Bicol consultancy for the environmental. And Coen is based in Singapore for the landscaping. So if you notice our landscaping are very nice outside, that's because that has been planned by a Singaporean. Okay? If you've been to Singapore, very guapa the landscaping, di ba? So it's like that. The interior design, if you check out our model units, guapa kaayo, because that is done by Pitang, the top interior designer in Hong Kong. Okay? And the master plan, the whole of Mandani Bay was done by Crone Architects, whose office in Sydney. Some of our sellers were able to go there. Oh my God, very impressive. They have a lot of development in Australia and even in the United States. Right? So mga top caliber atong consultants. Now, hold on. I'm gonna show you first, with all this fuzz about world class, what do we really mean? When all of the buildings are done, how will Mandani Bay look like? Do you want to see that? I'm sure you do. Let me show you this. Okay, that's what we mean by world class, no? Seeing the development, that's what we mean by world class. Okay, so my last few slides to answer the question of posed to Professor Soriano, what sets Mandani Bay different from the rest? There are 5 things. Number one, ultra. Ultra na gid niya. Ultra strategic location. As I've said, this location that we have right here, we are at the heart of Mandaue City, no? At the heart of Metro Cebu. If you notice, Mandani Bay, that's Mandani Bay. The area surrounding Mandani Bay is also developed already. A lot of facilities. Right across, no? Cebu Doctors University. Right beside it, Singapore International, one of the most expensive, by the way, schools in Cebu. No? There are hospitals, UCM, like UC Med, no? 2 blocks away. There's Chongwa. That's why Mandani Bay is also best fit for retirees. Why? Because if they will have problems later on, hospitals are just very near. No? Bay Hotel is right across. Park Mall is there. SM is very near. No? Cebu Business Park is 15 minutes drive. IT Park is 20 minutes drive. No? I should know because I live in the area. No? I currently live in the area. I drive every morning from near IT Park here around 20 minutes only. All right? Cebu International Port is there, although it's going to be transferred to Consolacion later on. And of course, the airport is also nearby. Remember, the airport now may be 25 to 30 minutes away. But with the fourth bridge, it will be 5 minutes away. So let's not waste time. Consider that in your investment strategy. All right? Another reason number 2, unbelievably, because I really thought before Mandani came in that, most condos, it's okay just to have a pool, a gym, no? And that's it. I'm good. But not with Mandani Bay. We will drown you with amenities, no? So look at that. This is Mandani Bay Key. What are the amenities you could expect here? Not one pool, not 2 pools. You have 3 pools in that podium. That does not count yet the other 3 more podiums. Diba? So, and the pool that we have there is an Olympic size pool, 50 meters long, huge pool. It will have outdoor playgrounds for kids and adults, a basketball court, a badminton court, a gym, karaoke room, library, billiards room, name it, we have it. Okay? So this is what sets, because why? As what Professor Soriano said earlier, if you're an investor and you want to buy a property, put yourself in the shoes of your renter. What are gonna what are they gonna look for? Are you gonna choose a condo which will only have a gym and a pool, or this? Right? So it's clearly you want, if you live there, you want to have more choices, more amenities you could use. So that's what we provide in Mandani Bay. And we don't stop there, huh? The amenities don't stop at the podium area. The whole 20 hectares is amenities that the buyers and the residents could enjoy. What do I mean? This is Mandani Bay Avenue. This is another amenity. Why? Because if the resident loves shopping, this is your shopping haven here, no? If they love to stroll in the park, walk their dogs, we have a very long park, half a kilometer long. And if they love the views of the ocean, they could enjoy and stroll or jog at the boardwalk. Right? So it is not just a building you live in. You are actually buying the whole 20 hectares here to enjoy. Right? And number 3, super convenient to navigate. I told you this is going to be 20 hectares. So some residents are a little bit concerned. It's huge. How do I walk there? It's very easy. Why? Because we provided footbridges and tunnels so that it's going to be very easy for people to walk around the development. So look at that. So in the whole development, we will provide 4 tunnels and 4 footbridges there, connecting those podiums, phase 1 and phase 2, phase 2 and phase 3, phase 3 and phase 4, then phase 4 and phase 1. You could even jog not at the ground, but at the podium level. You could jog there, okay? Just roam around over those 4 footbridges. Reason number 4, if you take a look at the condos here in Cebu, most of the units are small. A studio is what? 20, 22, 24 square meters. But in Mandani Bay, we've designed the units to be extra bigger. A studio in Mandani Bay is 30 to 33 square meters. No? A 1-bedroom is 50 to 65 square meters. So it's typically bigger. So here you have more space to enjoy. All right? And look at that. Ultra luxurious too. In fact, Professor Siriano said, you have to make sure, because moving forward, a lot of the people who will live in the condo will also use it as their office. Some of the units that we have will actually have their own offices inside their bedrooms. Offices that they could enclose, so that when they do work from home, there will be less distraction from the noises of your kids, from your pets, because you have your own office, right? And look at the drop off, no? Later on, if you have time, try to pass by the first phase. I tell you, because I've been to Mandarin Oriental Hotel, one of the top high-end hotel in the world, which is, by the way, the sister company of Hong Kong Land. Huh? The designs here really almost similar to the interiors of the Mandarin Oriental. Right? This is the lobby, chandeliers, really nice, no, wide lobby, spacious, a lot of lounges you could enjoy. No, so if you haven't been there yet, maybe schedule a trip with your sellers to take a look at the handover units in Mandani Bay. Look at the elevator lobby here. And because it's pandemic, we also made sure that our units are pandemic ready. In fact, the elevator, before, the original plan was just provide a high-speed elevator. But because the pandemic happened, and an elevator is an enclosed space, right? We place air purifiers inside elevators para safe. Okay? And lastly, stunning views. While most condos, no, you have one condo, some units will have city view, some will have sea view. In Mandani Bay, you have a lot of views to choose from. Of course, There are units which will have sea views, no, because we're fronting the Mactan Channel. But wag ka. There are also units which are fronting the amenities areas. We call this the resort view. Because I tell you, if you have a unit here, it's like staying in Shangri-La. You see greens, you see a pool, no? It's like that feeling. So this, we call this the resort view if you're facing the amenity. And we will also have units facing the park. So we call this the park view. And some units is going to have that view too. The city, this is a 3-in-1 view. City, mountain, and sunset view. Oh, diba? So you have a lot of views to choose from. If you're the water person, go for sea views. If you like greens, go for the park view. If you like looking at, people swimming in their bikinis, go for the amenity view. And if you like the city view, go for that. All right? Now, let me show you. Let me show you. This is my last video because we're very proud. 7 years ago, we just talked about Mandani Bay. Finally, it's here. It's in our very eyes. And we're very happy on the final result. I'm going to show you how we will turn over soon the other units in Mandani Bay by showing you the phase 1, which is Mandani Bay Suites. This is Mandani Bay Suites. So that video was taken in February pa ha, caveat. So some of the areas were not quite finished, but of course now we've already begun that turnover a few weeks ago. And we're very happy to tell you that 93% of The units we turned over without a single punch list. Okay? Without a single punch. What does that mean? When the unit was handed over to the owner, they never saw any complaints. No, the 7% very minor punch list, which in a day or two were already rectified. So we're very happy. We have pleased and really set the standards of handover here in Cebu. Okay, so a few reminders before I end my presentation. Of course, the most recent tower, residential tower that the sellers are selling now is, of course, Mandani Bay Key Tower 3. This is the last residential tower in Mandani Bay Key. So if you want to have a condo here in Mandani Bay, better get a unit here. Now, the nice thing about this, it's very unique because this is the only unit in Mandani Bay which will come fully furnished, and the furnitures there are designed by no less than Tang himself, the one who designed our gallery. Okay? So it's fully furnished, interior design. So all you need to do is bring your clothes and your key. You're ready to live here. Okay? This is especially good for investors. Sayang akong napalit ang unfurnished before. If this came in first, I would have bought this because as an investor, for you to rent your unit, you need to furnish it. Who will live in an unfurnished unit, diba? So with this one, hassle-free because you don't need to buy furnishings anymore. Okay? And of course, another tower that they're selling, again in Mandani Bay, we don't only have residential, but we also have offices. The very first office tower of Mandani Bay, which is called One Mandani Bay. No? A grade A office. 30 floors, 30 stories. It will have a helipad, no? It will have office spaces. It will have meeting rooms, no? And the nice thing about that, it will have the biggest lobby, office lobby in Cebu, 500 square meters, no? And we will also deploy turnstiles for security. Okay? Now, a few more reminders. Professor Soriano said, one of the things we could take advantage of during this pandemic is that the developers are offering promos now. I tell you, in my 7 years in Mandani Bay, we never had this promo. Of course, we have to have a promo because it's pandemic to make it more affordable to our buyers, no? So, in fact, a studio before the pandemic, monthly you have to pay 30,000 pesos because it's a high-end development. So a little bit steeper. But with this promo that we have right now, no, a studio of which in Tower 2, which is semi-furnished, or a Tower 3, fully furnished studio, from 30,000, you could now start owning this for as low as 17,000 pesos. But this promo is good only up to July 31. So that's the catch. So if you want to own a unit here, better talk to your seller, avail of this one. Imagine almost half the monthly, no? So look at that. And the office, if you want to buy an office before, it's 91,000 peso a month. Now, up to July 31 only, you could own an office unit for as low as 51,000 peso a month. Okay? So talk to your sellers. They will give you sample computation so that you could immediately reserve the unit today or before July 31. Okay, so before I sign off, I'm inviting everyone, especially those of you there who are tuning in at home via Zoom. If you haven't been to the gallery, pay us a visit. This is the only show gallery or showroom in the Visayas and Mindanao area which won 9 international awards, the most coveted of which is the one in Milan, Italy. No, so come here. Let us show you the gallery and show you Mandani Bay. Okay, if you have questions, that is my email right there. If you are too shy to ask your questions later with OJ, you could also decide to email me. Thank you so much, OJ.
Thank you so much, Sir Audie. Let's
There you
give him a
go.
big hand. Thank you so much for showing us how Cebu is transforming into a world-class lifestyle destination with Mandani Bay. Now, as Professor Soriano showed us how important it is to plan Sir Audie showed us the plans for Cebu, the golden age of infrastructure. But the most important thing about this is most of them are expedited, and some of them are waiting for approval and budget appropriation. So there are a lot of things that are keeping us excited here in Cebu, and of course, keeping us excited for Mandani Bay as well. Now, Sir Audie will be joining us later on for a few discussions. But if you have questions, please feel free to type them in our chat box below if you're watching on Zoom. And if you're watching via Facebook, please feel free to comment your questions down below or send us a private message. Now, we are truly excited to see a lot more about what Mandani Bay has to offer and how it sets the bar for the new era of development in the Philippines. Now, among many other things that we're so thrilled to have in Mandani Bay is its first office tower called the One Mandani Bay. One Mandani Bay is a 30-story office tower that will embrace an ecologically responsive design and will showcase energy-efficient features and amenities. To know more about One Mandani Bay, let's all watch this.
Mandani Bay, Southeast Asia's upcoming urban landmark, begins a new chapter. For the first time, the development expands its offerings from luxury living spaces to world-class workspaces. The 20-hectare waterfront lifestyle destination presents its premier office building, a tower whose tenants will enjoy the best aspects of Mandani Bay's completely integrated property. Aspects such as green expanses between structures that promote well-being and pedestrian-first urban planning. This office tower strives to become a globally competitive hub for modern companies. A canopy drop-off/pickup area and driveway serves as the entrance, which is fronted by a garden and elevated 2 meters from street level. The grand lobby preludes to the fine spaces that await within the structure. This welcome area is about 500 square meters and has a cafe lounge and an open gallery for exhibits and other events. Prospective tenants may create their perfect workplace size from approximately 196 modular units. Each cut is ever modifiable and combinable with other units to form bigger spaces. Designed by world-class partners in property development and supervised by a top-ranking property manager, the building keeps with international standards in sustainable modern infrastructure. It is registered with the Building for Ecologically Responsive Design Excellence program, committing the tower to environmentally sensitive construction. It is registered with the Philippine Economic Zone Authority, assuring tenants of the fiscal benefits of Mandani Bay as a special economic zone locator. State-of-the-art, ecologically responsive, geared for tomorrow. The future of work in Cebu begins at One Mandani Bay.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. One Mandani Bay, a world-class office tower by Mandani Bay. And right now, we are joined by Sir Audie Villa for a quick discussion. Again, if to all of our viewers online, if you have questions, please feel free to chat it in our chat box via Zoom. Or if you're watching via Facebook, feel free to comment your questions or send us a private message. Sir Audie, mayong
Hi,
buntag.
OJ. Good morning and good morning to everyone again who are
All right.
watching us right now.
First off, as an investor, as you have laid out and shared to all of us, all of your investments during the pandemic, you have pivoted into different options and ways to take advantage of your previous investments. Can you share with all of us one option that you made or decision that you made is renting to own your properties? Were there other options that you considered that maybe our friends and investors here can use with their investments?
So again, during the pandemic, there were a few renters, especially at the type of project that I had, most of which were high end. So they command higher rents. So aside from renting to own, I actually dispose some. No, I had to dispose some, although the price I wanted to sell was not the one that I really wanted, but I still was able to earn a bit. But I had to dispose some because, as what professor said earlier, cash is king. You have
Yes.
to have cash as well. But it doesn't mean that because you dispose some, you are going to say bye to real estate. In fact, I disposed some, but I also bought some again.
Ooh, so you were preparing
Yes,
for more opportunities ahead.
because in the during the pandemic, some were selling low, no? Some were really selling low. So it's an opportunity for you to also buy properties at a lower price, or if you buy a pre-selling properties like Mandani Bay at a lower monthly amortization. So dispose some, you have cash, but you still continue to invest because I believe 38 years experience, diba? We have
Mhm.
always overcome a recession or a crisis. So the light is there.
Yes, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel, ladies and gentlemen. Again, there are a lot of opportunities. Cash is king. Be cash ready to prepare yourselves if opportunity rises or comes. You are ready to take advantage of that opportunity. Now, you mentioned that you started investing back in 2012. Share to all of our aspiring you manage to budget your salary, your income to acquire these investments?
Of course, we didn't have so much as a family, so I had to work my way up. And of course, my investment money came from the salary I had. You have to make sure that you allot part of your salary for that. The mistake is we spend first, and then whatever is left, we hopefully we try to invest. No, uh, you have to change the mindset. You take out what you want to invest first, and then whatever is left, spend on that one. Okay, so that's what I've done. I started with financial investments, so time deposits, no, and then right before I went into real estate, I also did stock trading. So I also done that. Then real estate. When I discovered real estate, there was no longer turning back. So why? Because it was really in real estate that you see values in what 7, 8 digits,
Yes.
which you cannot get with merely financial investments. It's here wherein you could really earn millions. No, the biggest transaction, probably the biggest earning I had in one single transaction was 8 million profit.
Wow.
So this is the industry and this is the venue where you could really hit it big. Okay, I'm not saying purely put it in real estate, diversify, but you must have a real estate portfolio. Okay, and lately, no, I really agree with what Professor said earlier because it's the pandemic. It's actually a very good time
Yes.
as an investor
Mhm.
myself to be investing in businesses which have pivoted and which will be sustainable. In fact, during the pandemic was my very first time I became a venture capitalist. So a venture capitalist is you fund certain businesses. And I looked at the businesses which I thought will be sustainable, had a strategic plan, and really fit for the pandemic and funded them. I am not a business owner, somebody's running it, but we see that these businesses really have potential even after the pandemic. So there are many ways to put your money in. One thing is for sure, do not allow your money to sleep
So
at your door,
make
in your
your
bed.
make
it
your
grow. Make it
money
grow.
work for you. How has that been for you? I know as I've read in a lot of financial books, they always emphasize to increase your assets and more importantly, increase your net worth. How has increasing your net worth helped you in investing per se and in life in general?
Increasing your net worth is very important because the more you have it, the more you will be able to go into big
Mhm.
ventures.
Mhm.
No, if I hadn't start with small investments with time deposits and all that, I wouldn't have been able to afford buying a real estate property and then rolling that again. So it's always you need to have a mindset that you need to be able to assess how much you are worth today. All your assets, make an inventory of them. How much properties you have, cash in the bank, corporate bonds, stocks, whatever. add them up, and make sure that you will have a goal to grow them. Like for myself, I need to be able to grow them at 10% annually so that you'll be able to strategize well.
10% annually in a diversified portfolio.
Yes. 50% of which I must admit is in real estate because this is really a big, this is the volume. This is where the money is. Yeah.
All right. And of course, one way to increase our net worth is, again, as you mentioned, investing in real estate. And as what Professor Soriano emphasized, is one of I think the most important thing that you must take account on is the developer. No? How is it important in choosing the right developer, and how relating to net worth, how are the values of your investments increasing with the right developer?
The right developer, OJ, I tell you, could give you two things. Number one, they could give you assurance that whatever they promised when they pre-sold to you will be delivered as promised or even better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Some of the not so good developers, they will promise you a lot but deliver less. And number two is property management. One thing that a lot do not know in real estate investment, that's key to growing the value of the property. Even if you have a very nice building like Mandani Bay, but if the property management sucks, I tell you, there will be no property appreciation. So that is what a reputable developer would give. And if you have that, the value of your net worth will also increase because of the value appreciation. In fact, Mandani Bay right here, from the very beginning, it has already increased to 60%.
Wow.
We were selling this before, OJ, at 100,000 per square meter. Now the price is 160. Don't be alarmed. It's not too late. Because the value of the other Hong Kong land projects in Asia would even go as much as ~1,000,000 per square meter. So you could really go up depending on the developer.
And the great thing, no, of course, when we compare something to something, we, think of the best comparison. And what amazes me is how Sir Audie compares Mandani Bay to the Mandarin in Hong Kong, to Shangri-La here in Cebu, which are the best of the best. Now, speaking of being late or being early, with Mandani Bay, of course, our Tower 1 and 2 are turned over now. Is it late, or is it still in our early stages to invest? And how can we take advantage of the equity as well?
Okay, just look at it this way. The average price now in the Cebu Business Park area is around 200 to 220,000 per square meter. Okay? And our price now is around 160 to 170. So it's still cheaper, and we haven't been completed yet. So once the boardwalk is there, once the green promenade is there, prices will shoot up because people will demand. They want to live here. You see a lot of things. That's why I would say it's a good indicator. I would be threatened and I would be alarmed if the prices don't go up. That's red flag to me. Because if prices don't go up, meaning to say there's no demand and the value of your investment is not appreciating. Yes. So not too late, OJ. Definitely.
All right. It's not too late. It's in our early stages. Again, we are still in our 4 of 21 towers.
Five.
Yes, 5 of 21 towers. It's still in our early stages, ladies and gentlemen. So once again, take advantage of the low equity offering of Mandani Bay. Any last few words, Sir Audie? Of course, invite them to the show gallery, as well as you have shared to all of us how beautiful Pitang's interior designs are. They can still have a glimpse of how Pitang designs their units here in the Mandani Bay Show Gallery.
Oh yes, they say to see is to believe, right? So I will stop talking and I will just invite everyone. For those of you who are here, take a tour at our gallery, see the show flats, and if you have time, drop by the lobby of Mandani Bay Suites so that you will believe. And for those who are tuning in at home, if you haven't been here, schedule a visit with your seller and enjoy the show gallery. We provide refreshments from Abaca. So, to make it a better
I'm enjoying
experience.
the coffee. And
Yes.
of course, the snacks.
Yes. Even the coffee is branded Abaca Coffee.
Yeah, of course. So come right down here, schedule a visit at the Mandani Bay Show Gallery. Sir Audie, thank you very much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, OJ.
And of course, thank you so much to Professor Enrique Soriano for who joined us earlier today. Dagan gang salamat for your time and of course for sharing with us some insightful information. All of our friends here at the Mandani Bay Show Gallery as well as our friends online have truly learned a lot. Guys, if you have more questions, please feel free to send us a private message on Facebook or through the contact details, which will be flashed on your screens after this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know that this pandemic has taken a toll on everything about our lives, but Mandani Bay is confident that we will rise and overcome any challenge ahead of us. Guys, please stay safe and healthy and see you on our next Rise episode. This has been OJ Simofranca. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Salamat.